Johnny from Karate Kid 1 is without a doubt one of the most overrated characters in the Miyagi-Verse. If I received $1 for every time I read a comment about how no kick could have stopped Johnny Lawrence in his prime, I wouldn't be trying to get monetized on YouTube. In this video, I'll be analyzing all of Karate Kid 1 Johnny's feats and scaling, then coming to a verdict. To begin with, Karate Kid 1 was not Johnny's prime. This is a common claim that I frequently see in the community. This is largely due to Kreese's statement in a deleted scene where he claims that no kick could have stopped Johnny Lawrence in his prime. The issue with this statement is that because it's a deleted scene, it's technically not even canon, and even if it was canon, it still wouldn't be reliable because it's revealed that Johnny is not only Kreese's weakness, but Kreese himself states that he favored Johnny as a student. Therefore Kreese is not an impartial source. While it's easy to argue that Johnny was the best team fighter in Karate Kid 1, his skill level is vastly eclipsed by the team fighters in Cobra Kai. Even in Season 1, Robby learned skills and techniques that Daniel didn't learn until Karate Kid 2 and Karate Kid 3. He even performs the two-legged kick, which is stated to not only be the strongest kick in Miyagi-Do but also a technique that Daniel in his 20s was unable to do. By the end of Season 2, it's stated that during Robby's time in Miyagi-Do, he learned everything Daniel did during the trilogy. Thus Johnny's skill level in Karate Kid 1 is arguably surpassed by Robby even in Season 1. Now Johnny fans will argue against this by bringing up Miguel beating Robby. However, the issue with this is that Johnny as an adult even in Season 1 should be more skilled than he was as a teen, as he demonstrates to Kreese during their fight that he didn't teach him everything. Johnny also taught Miguel the crane kick, the very technique that defeated him in Karate Kid 1. To top it all off, Miguel doesn't perform that well against Robby, having to constantly exploit his shoulder injury to score points, and anytime Robby was balanced, he was able to easily score points. Therefore in terms of skills, Johnny simply cannot compete with the modern-day Cobra Kai. Kid Johnny's strength is a large driving factor in why many people hold him in high regard. The main feat being that Johnny was able to destroy an outdoor sign with a kick. Upon calculation, this feat would be around 52 kilojoules at the highest, which would still be lower than feats such as Miguel breaking a steel railing in Season 2 or Kyler and Chris destroying 5 layers of concrete in Season 4. It also falls very short of feats performed by the next two Karate Kid villains being Chozen and Mike Barnes, with Chozen being able to kick a piece off a statue calculated at 126 kilojoules and Mike Barnes pulverizing bricks at 411 kilojoules. These calculations are also consistent with what is shown with Chozen being able to incapacitate post-Karate Kid 1 Daniel with a single strike, whereas it took Johnny multiple attacks to knock down an untrained Daniel. While it may seem like Daniel didn't improve that much over the course of the next two films, it's stated in the Karate Kid 2 trailer that Daniel has gotten stronger, and stated in the Karate Kid 3 novelization that Daniel only continued to get stronger through training. Chozen and Mike Barnes being able to fight stronger versions of Daniel also remains consistent with the back of the DVD covers, which state that Daniel's opponents get tougher in each film. Therefore Johnny is the weakest Karate Kid villain, despite many in the community believing he can beat Chozen and Mike. While I don't believe for a second that he is anywhere near as good as the community makes him out to be, I do believe he was the best teen fighter in Karate Kid 1. While Kreese is an unreliable source, it's stated by the narrator in the novelization for Karate Kid 1 that Johnny is indeed the best fighter in Cobra Kai during this time. This would include fighters like Bobby, who injured Daniel's leg and should be more skilled as he defeated Jerry Robertson faster than Daniel did. This would also include fighters like Dutch and Tommy, who individually scored a point on Daniel. So the question you might have now is, how did Johnny struggle with an injured Daniel? In Season 4, Kreese tells Terry that Johnny's confidence was shattered after losing to Mr. Miyagi. The reason why this is important is because we see many times that confidence can significantly affect fighting ability, such as in the case of Eli, who went from losing a point to a random fighter to winning the All-Valley tournament after regaining his confidence. To a lesser extent this is also shown with Dimitri, who went from easily losing to Robby to being able to fight competitively in the third round. Despite his loss of confidence, he was still able to defeat fighters like Daryl Vidal and advance to the finals. Though Johnny lost, at their best, Johnny was likely the better fighter in Karate Kid 1. While Karate Kid 1 Johnny was a formidable and talented fighter during his time, being the first ever two-time winner of the All-Valley tournament, his skill has since been vastly eclipsed, with his students learning from a much more skilled and experienced version of himself. Their opponents at Miyagi-Do being even more skilled than Daniel was at the end of the trilogy, and eventually learning to combine various styles. All the while, he is considered by many in the community to be one of the best team fighters, therefore he is overrated.